Hey everybody, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Red with only one Slowpoke was hard at the start and very easy by the end. Let's follow up with a more unique challenge. Today's the day that we figure out would I be able to beat Pokemon Platinum with a team of only Honey Tree Pokemon. I'll go into exactly how Honey Trees work in a minute or two, but more importantly, on screen should be a bunch of Pokemon that we can catch in Honey Trees. This isn't exactly a list of all the Pokemon I'll have though, since some of these are very luck-based. As much as I'd love to have a Munchlax, for instance, he's very, very rare. Honey Trees can only get us a maximum of one Pokemon every 6 real-life hours, so we're gonna have a slow start. Like always, I'm writing the script as I go through with the challenge, so all of this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I'm confident that I can win, but the bad type variety and large team will probably result in a lot of very slow but necessary grinding sessions. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Pokemon that I caught at a Honey Tree, plus my starting Combee. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Lastly, lots of people requested this, but I'll shout out it's me, Mr. Austria, for it since he was the most recent to ask. Let's do this. So right off the bat, I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Turtwig with Combee so that we can start with a Honey Tree Pokemon. I picked to replace Turtwig so our rival would have a Fire type, probably the hardest for us to fight since we're starting with a Bug type. I name her MDB because that is absolutely hilarious. I made sure to restart until we got a female one since male Combees never evolve and thus are basically useless. Considering I don't want this video to be late is just a smart move. Our nature is naughty, so less special defense and more attack. I'm actually okay with that, although you just know that Thunderbolt is gonna crush us at some point. Now, Combee is pretty useless, even this early in the game, but because it's a female one, it can become Vespiquen, a pretty solid Pokemon. It's slower than Combee, strangely enough, but it's also much, much stronger and has much better moves. Right away, I start fighting everything I can to level up early. Before we can get a good supply of honey and start catching more Pokemon, I have to beat the Rock Gym, and chances are that's not happening until we hit level 21 and evolve, seeing as we are double weak to rock types. While I train though, let's explain how Honey Trees work. Sinnoh has honey trees placed around the map, and as we cover them in honey, Pokemon will get attracted to them. Problem is, this takes 6 real-life hours, and I make these videos on a time limit so that they aren't late. This means that how many chances I get to catch Pokemon depends on if I can find time to go back and recheck these honey trees, then we need to be lucky enough to get good Pokemon. There's a lot of luck for some of these Pokemon, like Munchlax, one of the hardest Pokemon to catch in the game. Probably the hardest Pokemon to catch in this game, actually. 4 random trees in the game are set as Munchlax trees, and each one of them only has a 1% chance of actually having a Munchlax. Now, if I do run into a Munchlax, then I'm gonna have to catch it, because it evolves into Snorlax, and that's pretty incredible. But I'm not gonna sit around for weeks trying to catch one, because you guys know I make one of these videos every week. I can't just take 3 weeks to catch a Munchlax. If I can get an Ambipom and a Heracross, though, I'll be pretty happy. Anyway, with us using only a level 9 Combee, we managed to beat the first real fight with our rival completely because he just spammed Growl and Leer for most of the fight. I get the feeling that he's programmed to fight badly intentionally here, just so that the player doesn't get discouraged. Shortly after this, and we hit level 13 and learn Bug Bite. Interestingly enough, in Diamond and Pearl, Combee doesn't learn this level by level up, making it even more useless. This is going to be the best move until we evolve though, so let's hope that we can one-shot this stuff while grinding. I tried the Rock Gym again at level 17 just to see how good it would go, but we just got one-shot by Geodude, so that's just not happening. Anyway, at level 21 we evolve, and that gets us Power Gem, a pretty cool rock move that's got 100 accuracy, and it's special. But because we're not rock type, I'm not sure how useful this will be in the short term. On our first attempt back, we easily take out Geodude and Onix thanks to Gust, mostly because of their bad special defense, then Gust and Bug Bite take out Cranidos. I'm kinda surprised that Geodude's Rock Throw did so little damage. Now that we can get to the next area of the game, we get a bit of honey from a very strange old man. I buy lots. We're gonna be needing this stuff the entire game, most likely. I guess there's no point in using the honey right now though, since I won't be awake in 6 hours anyway. We have to fight Team Galactic in the Valley Windworks next. This fight is normally one that we'd lose a bunch in Gen 4 runs, but we totally crushed it. Vespiquen is a very powerful Pokemon for this early in the game, so we're probably going to have some smooth sailing for a little bit. The Grass Gym goes exactly how you'd expect, with us completely brutalizing them. We're flying and bug type, both good against grass. After that, though, it was getting late, so I decided to slather honey on the 3 trees that I know that I can reach, and then shut off the game for the night. The next day, I rushed back to check the trees. At the first tree, we found Cherubi. I don't really know a ton about this Pokemon, but I know that once it evolves, it should be passable. The stats on Bulbapedia seem usable enough, and the move list seems good enough, so this might work out in the long run, especially because we do need some kind of grass type. At the second tree, it weirdly just asks me to slather honey, even though I am absolutely convinced I did that last night. At the final tree, though, is just a male Combee, so pretty much useless. I didn't bother catching him. With that done, I head to clear out the nearby Galactic hideout, so I give the new Cherim the experience share so I can get it a few more levels. Vespiquen is great so far, but I'm gonna regret it if I don't start investing in more of my team soon. Once I get to the commander, we take her out pretty easily, as you might expect, but we do take over half of our health and damage in the process. It's a good thing that I've been training Cherim with the experience share, since we might need him a little bit sooner than I expected. Also, just by the way, I haven't heard like half of Gen 4 Pokemon said out loud because I stopped watching the anime long before then, so if I'm saying some of these things wrong, at least we all know who I'm talking about. In the next town over, I pick up the Shell Bell from some random lady in an apartment. It's a held item that heals us just a little bit every time we deal damage, so although I'm not sure that I'll need it now, I'll need it later. For now, I have Vespiquen holding Bright Powder for more damage on her Bug Bite instead. Next is the Ghost Gym. Duskull's first and we got super lucky with it missing Will-O-Wisp, so we took it down without getting hit. Mismagius was a lot stronger though, and we're in a losing fight just trading shots. I tried to use Heal Order to keep up, but eventually we went down to a crit. I sent in Cherubi, but naturally just went down in one hit as well. Did I call that Cherim earlier? Why did I write that in the script? It wasn't even one of those yet. I probably just had the page open on Bulbapedia. With that easy loss, it's clear that we need to get a bit stronger. Let's try evolving Cherubi. It's only a few levels away, and although I don't think it'll save the battle for us, maybe it'll give me an idea of how realistic it is for me to grind a little and win this fight, rather than just waiting and catching more Honey Tree Pokemon. First, let's talk about Cherim for a little bit now that it's evolved. This is a weird Pokemon, so its ability is Flower Gift. It makes it so that when there's harsh sunlight, its attack and special defense are raised by 50%. In a double battle, that's even better because your other Pokemon gets the bonus too. The weird part, though, is that Cherim learns Petal Dance when it evolves, and that's not a physical move. In fact, the only move it can learn with the same type attack bonus that's physical is Bullet Seed, a repeating move that only has 10 power in this game. If I want to make use of the attack boost, it might make more sense to teach it Return and give it Soothe Bell, but if I'm going to be using Sunny Day, I may as well just use Solar Beam instead. I tried again, but ended up getting crushed almost exactly as badly. Not all hope is lost, though. Vespiquen is only a few levels away from learning Attack Order, and that's a pretty fantastic move. Let's give that a try, and if we fail, I'll wait for another batch of trees to be ready. First try with Attack Order, and we crit it to one-shot Duskull, then have Mismagius use Confuse Ray and crit us with 2 different Shadow Balls, while we hit ourselves in confusion 3 times in a row. Okay, that fight was a statistical anomaly. I'm gonna just try that again. Second try, and this time we still crit and one-shot Duskull without being burned. Mismagius still confused us, but 2 attack orders easily took it out, and last is Haunter, so I switched for Cherim, mostly to get rid of the confusion on Vespiquen. I Leech Seed Haunter and Sunny Day as she was starting to use weak Shadow Claws, but we do get put to sleep shortly after, then confused. We're actually hardly taking damage shot after shot though, and Leech Seed is still doing damage. Eventually, she used a super potion to get her health back, but we finally started to land hits with Petal Dance. In the end, we took her down with Cherim. After that is another rival fight. Staravia's first, so our attack is down from Intimidate, and we instantly got crit with a super effective wing attack. But we still took him down in 1 power gem. Monferno is second, but his Flame Wheel really didn't hurt us much. 2 power gems took him down, but our health is low. I switched to Cherim for Buizel just to one-shot it with Petal Dance, and last is Roselia, so I just have Vespiquen take it down in 1 attack order. With that win, I decided that it's finally time to wait until the honey trees are ready. This time we found another male Combee, it's never worth catching them, an Ambipom that I'm very happy I caught, another Cherubi that I don't bother with, and lastly a female Burmy that I catch. 2 new Pokemon is a pretty great haul. As you'd expect, the fighting gym is basically a sweep. We had to switch when Lucario came out to get rid of the speed down we got from Machoke, but I don't think we were ever close to losing that fight. After that, I'm done for the day, so I'm actually writing this right before I go to sleep. First thing on the schedule for tomorrow is to check the honey trees. Alright, what did we get this time? Male Combi, another male Combi, another male Combi, another Cherubi that I didn't need. Finally, a female Combi. I catch that one, never know if I'll need a second Vespiquen. Not sure if I'll bother with that. Next is a male Burmy. Male and female Burmies turn into different Pokemon, so I catch that for the sake of more move variety later down the line. Last was another male Combi, and yet another male Combi. Alright, we caught almost everything you can get from one of these honey trees. We're missing Wurmple, but I doubt I'd use it. And I don't have Munchlax or Heracross, but they're both so rare that I probably won't get them. I'll keep checking honey trees, I'll just only announce it in the video if we find something good from this point on. So, while I get to the next area of the game, let's quickly go over Burmy's gimmick. So Burmy will turn into a plant, sand, or trash form, depending on where you fought last. If it's a female Burmy, then when it evolves, it will permanently be the type of whatever form it was in last. So Bug and Grass for plant, Bug and Ground for sand, or Bug and Steel for trash. I'm gonna go for Steel since it's only weak against fire. As for the male Burmy, that'll become Mothim. He's not great on stats, and he's another bug and flying type, but his moveset is pretty nice, so we might use him. As for Ambipom, he'll evolve once he levels up with the move Double Hit, so at level 32. He's actually going to have some pretty solid stats once he evolves, so I expect to use him at least a little bit. Anyway, with a little bit of travel and a few big fights, our female Burmy became Steel and Bug-typed Wormadam. With that globetrotting done, it's time for another rival fight. I'm not going to waste your time, though. The battle was almost identical to the last rival fight. Easy win. After that was the Water Gym. Water Onix is first, so naturally our attack is down from Intimidate, but Power Gem is special. One hit, and he switches over Quagsire, so we switch for Cherrim for that amazing 4 times damage potential. One Magic Leaf does the job, and he went down. Back to Vespiquen for Floatzel, and it missed its Ice Fang, and we hit Power Gem. That was incredibly lucky. The second Ice Fang hits us hard, but one attack order finishes it off. Gyarados is back out, so our attack is back down, but we hang on from Waterfall, and one Power Gem finishes it off. Finally, it's time for our first fight with Cyrus, the Team Galactic leader. Sneasel's first, so we lose 2 stages of defense to Screech, hit a big Power Gem, he heals with a potion, we hit Power Gem again, he nearly takes us out with Ice Punch, and we finish him off. Second is Golbat, so it's out to Cherrim, mostly to throw bodies at him to soften him up with Leech Seed and whatnot. We get our Leech Seed in, but of course grass moves do almost nothing, so he quickly takes us down, but not before Leech Seed takes down his health at least a little bit. Back to Vespiquen, and we hang on from an Air Cutter with 1 health, use Heal Order, and heal more from Leech Seed. We get confused next, but we're fully healed by another Heal Order, take a bit of damage from Air Cutter, then hit ourselves. Not super clean. Another Air Cutter and hitting ourselves in confusion, and we're almost down, but I get yet another Heal Order in, and the Leech Seed finishes him off. Last is Murkrow, so I send out Wormadam just to almost go down in 1 Drill Peck, and we do almost nothing with Mirror Shot. Next round we go down, so set to Apom, but he gets 1 shot. Murkrow is a beast. Finally, I sent Vespiquen out, we take big damage from Drill Peck, and 1 Power Gem takes him out. I'm not looking forward to the next Cyrus fight. I think that it's clear that most of our team is really falling behind on levels, so I decide to hang out here and try to get my team to mostly level 30 before I continue. It's still lower level than our opponents, but it's better than this. Finally, another rival fight. Staravia is Staraptor now, but he still just tries for Double Team and instantly gets taken out. Infernape is second and his Flame Wheel does more damage than before, but Power Gem and Gust took him down. Third is Heracross and his Aerial Ace nearly takes us down, but he's double weak to flying, so Gust did the job, and we switched to Cherrim for Floatzel. He was just using Swift, so 2 Grass Knots easily took him down. Next is Roserade, so I have Mothim come out. He just kept using Toxic Spike, so I got some Bug Bites in, but then we got put to sleep before we got the last hit. He couldn't do any serious damage though, so we quickly woke up and took him down. With that done, let's grab our 6th badge at the Steel Gym. Magneton is first, so I use Wormadam's Hidden Power since I think it's Ground type. We quickly get crit and taken down though, so I have Vespiquen hit it with Attack Order. We get hit by a massive Thunderbolt, and he uses Hyper Potion though, so we don't take him down on the next 2 hits and end up going down to Thunderbolt. Not a strong start. I sent out Ambipom and Brute Force it with Double Hit, but it still hangs on, nearly takes us down, then we finish it. Second is Steelix, so it's out to Cherrim, and this is what I learned Grass Knot for. It's based on the weight of the opponent, so 1 Grass Knot did crazy damage to Steelix, he kicked up a Sandstorm, and I finished it. Last is Bastiodon, and our Grass Knot isn't doing much, and physical moves are off the table due to Iron Defense. So I Leech Seeded him and then went back to Grass Knot. We traded shots for ages, and he had berries and healing items for days, but in the end, he was hardly ever hurting us, and we were healing off Leech Seed the whole time, so we got a pretty clean victory. After checking a bunch of trees and not finding anything new, I get back to traveling. There's a whole bunch of Team Galactic fighting at this point in the game, but most of the commanders are pretty easy in this run, so rest assured that if there's a part of the game I'm not bringing up, it's because it was so easy that it just wasn't worth talking about. Ages later and we're at the ice gym, but let's cut to the chase. We're not ready for this. This is a common issue in multi-Pokemon runs. We are massively underleveled on most of our team because we have to use inherently unbalanced teams for the sake of the challenge, but none of them are a crazy enough level to make up for it. That means that we usually have to power level, but it takes 5 times longer to level because I have all these extra Pokemon that often need their own training. Naturally, I start grinding up some of our lower leveled Pokemon. Ice is bad against rock, fighting, fire, and steel. Of those types, we only have a steel type, so Wormadam is the only Pokemon we have with a super effective same type attack bonus move, and Mirror Shot just isn't that amazing. Although we can learn tons of new moves by TM on this team, we can't actually learn anything that would help us with this fight and would actually be worth keeping, so I don't really have much of a choice here but to gain more levels. Plus, not long after this is the Distortion World Cyrus fight, and not only is that brutally hard, but it legit takes me about 15 minutes to get back to Cyrus after a loss, so I have to make sure that my team is ready to beat him by the time I enter the Distortion World. I do end up having a couple of small improvements that we can make, though. I gave Ambipom a Soothe Bell in return so that he'd have a really solid normal move, and I also picked up the TM for Gyro Ball. It's a steel move that does more damage the faster the opponent is in comparison to the user. Wormadam's speed is absolutely terrible, so Gyro Ball should be a solid upgrade. It took absolutely ages to gamble for enough coin to afford to buy this, by the way. Second most expensive TM by coins in the game at a cost of 15,000. That was more brutal than some of the grinding sessions. Finally, Ice Gym time. Sneasel starts with an Aerial Ace on us, and we take him down in one big shot. I sent out Wormadam for Frostlass, and she starts with a double team right away. We got pretty lucky though, and we only missed one Gyro Ball, so we took her down in 2 shots while hardly being hurt. Snowbomba is third, and Focus Blast hit us pretty hard. The second Focus Blast missed, and Bug Bite does decent damage. His third one hit though, so we go down. I have Ambipom come out and nearly finish it with Return, but he hangs on with a Sliver, nearly one-shots Ambipom with Focus Blast, and then she used a full restore. We do some more damage with Return, but Hail finishes us. Next is Vespiquen, and thankfully we're faster and took it down with Attack Order. Last is Piloswine, so we do big damage with Attack Order, but he has Stone Edge and we're double weak to that, so we go down. Charm comes out, and we easily finish it with a Grass Knot to finally get the badge. With that, I make a beeline straight for the second Cyrus fight. Let's not drag out the video with all of the little details of this fight, considering we have a fight right after, and it's gonna be a lot harder. We won the fight, but not without significant damage being taken. I know without a doubt that we're gonna need to be much stronger considering the next fight has always been far, far harder. So I go ahead and start grinding in our classic spot on Mount Cornet. It's just a really good idea for getting experience before the final Cyrus fight. So here's a picture of a team from the last battle and his next battle side by side. Almost the same levels, but Sneasel evolved and he caught a Houndoom and a Water Onix. Not only that, but check out those moves. Cross Poison, Air Slash, Drill Peck, Flamethrower, Earthquake, Giga Impact. He's got some serious moves in there. It seems like his team is pretty weak to Electric and Rock type, so I put Thunderbolt on Ambipom, although he has absolutely terrible special attack, but it's double super effective against Water Onix, so it's useful for that. As for the rest, we might just have to hope for the best with Power Gem and Brute Force whatever's left with Return. Finally, when the team is about level 50, I try Cyrus. First is Houndoom, so we use Return. It takes him to an absolute sliver, and we lose half of our health to Flamethrower. He uses a full restore to heal, but we got a Return and a Thunderbolt to take him down. Honchkrow came out second, so I used Return since it would do more than Thunderbolt, mostly due to the high attack. We almost went down to the counter attack, but 2 hits took him down. I keep Ambipom out for Water Onix and hit a 4 times damage Thunderbolt for less than I was expecting, then go down to Earthquake. I decided to send out Cherim due to the high speed, mostly, and I set up a Sunny Day to protect myself, but I ended up getting hit by Ice Fang for tons of damage. We finish it with Solar Beam though, now that we can use that in 1 turn. I switched to Mothim for Crobat, and we get Confuse Ray right away, but hit a surprisingly strong Psychic. Air Slash nearly one-shot us in return, we snapped out a Confusion right away, and we took him down. Weavile's last and Mothim got one shot by Fake Out, so I sent out Vespiquen, take huge damage off Ice Punch, and one-shot him with Attack Order for the win. After all that hassle, we finally make it to the final gym where I thought I'd have a horrible time because of all the electric and fire moves, but our beastly Ambipom has maxed out friendship by this point, and he just bowled over his whole team by himself. Finally, it's time for one last rival fight before the Elite Four. Staraptor actually hit us for once with Aerial Ace, and it did quite a bit of damage, and it managed to hang on from Power Gem. Second round, and it nearly took us down before it went down. Infernape is next, and I send out Ambipom to brute force it, and we nearly got a one-shot. He then missed with a Focus Blast that probably would have one-shot us, and we finished him in return. Out to Mothim for Heracross, but he hit us with a rock move right off the bat for an easy one-shot. Next is Ambipom, and one return actually took Heracross down. I sent out Cherim for Floatzel, and Ice Fang brings us down to half health as we start Sunny Day. Second round, and Ice Fang misses, and we score a one-shot with a Solar Beam. Next is Roserade, so I have Ambipom hit return for a one-shot, and last is Snorlax. I thought this might be rough, but return did absolutely massive damage, and his Body Slam didn't paralyze us, so we took him down in 2 hits. So while I check out my team, let's show you roughly how I plan for these big fights. To win the run, I need to beat the Elite Four and then the Pokemon champion Cynthia, so here's her team. Looks like we're a bit underleveled for it, and her moves are generally better than ours too. Plus, she has some really strong overall Pokemon. Still, this is possible. Roserade could easily go down to Vespiquen, and Melodic is all special defense, so I'm sure Ambipom can just brute force it with return if it comes to that. Togekiss might get one shot by return, but I can also see it really messing up Ambipom with Aura Sphere. Spiritomb has no weakness until Gen 6, but her speed is terrible. If Vespiquen outspeeds it, then maybe I could just get a one-shot with Attack Order. Lucario and Garchomp have me worried though. Garchomp I could possibly beat with Solar Beam, but it could also just take us out with one Flamethrower. I might have to just throw half my team at her. Last, Lucario is weak to stuff that we don't have, so we might have to just brute force that one too. Let's give the Elite Four a try with our current levels and moves and just see how it goes. Make your final guesses on if we can win or not. Let's do this. First is Bug Trainer Aaron. Yanmega is first, and right away he's using Double Team, but he's double weak to rock moves, so I ended up just one-shotting him with Power Gem. I love how much use we're getting out of that move. Next is Vespiquen, so I switch for Mothim and hit Air Slash for decent damage, cause a flinch, and Air Slash again to bring it to a sliver. It flinched again, but then he used a full restore, then I crit for a one-shot. That was amazing. Drapion is next, so I send out Wormadam. Aerial Ace hurts us a bit, and I start cycling through moves to see what works. Attract did a good job at slowing him down, and Hidden Power was super effective, but it still wasn't doing very much. We traded shots for ages before we took him down, mostly thanks to Attract. Heracross is next, so I send out Ambipom, and we nearly one-shot it with Return, but ended up getting one-shot by close combat. Cherim next just for the speed, and we go for Grass Knot, but he uses the full restore. Because of that, we couldn't finish him, so I used Leech Seed on him, just to go down to 1 Mega Horn. In fact, the entire rest of our team went down to this beastly Heracross because of him having rock and bug moves. Okay, with that being my 4th attempt, and it being by far the best one, I think it's clear that our terrible speed is just too much of an issue right now. We have tons of double weaknesses on our team. We can't afford to have this low of speed. As soon as they pull out a solid bug, flying, or rock move, we just lose. I decide to just bite the bullet and grind the team to at least level 58. That way they're roughly on par with Cynthia's team in terms of levels before I try again. This time goes more or less the same way until Heracross. We do lose Mothim early due to Drapion, but the start is mostly uneventful. On Heracross, we still have the same brutal exchange with Ambipom, but we have Vespiquen on hand and take him down in 1 gust afterwards. Last is Scizor, and despite how well we did up until this point, I can't take him down. I threw the entire rest of my team at this one Pokemon, and it's not enough to take him down. What a soul-crushing loss. I try again right after, this time having replaced Vespiquen's Gust with Aerial Ace. The entire first half of the fight is the same until Heracross, who instantly one-shots Vespiquen with Stone Edge. Well, that's bad. Ambipom totally lucked out and crit it for a one-shot though, so we're still in this. Last is Scizor, and I switch for Wormadam. Right away I use Attract and then start spamming Iron Head, slowly doing damage bit by bit. We actually went down eventually, but not before doing so much damage that he had to use a full restore. We nearly took him down that way alone. By the time we went down, he was in red health, so I just had Ambipom finish it with Return, finally getting us the win. Second is Ground Trainer Bertha. This one basically is just a sweep thanks to Solar Beam and Grass Knot. I probably could have done better in this fight, but my brain is a bit fried from all of these Aaron fights. Third is Fire Trainer Flint. Once again, I need to cut to the chase for the sake of the length of this script. This is the best attempt of 15 entire attempts, and honestly, we weren't even that close. We were just really lucky. Our team has a massive weakness to fire types, and there really isn't anything I can do about it. We are sorely lacking water moves, we can't learn any good ones, and most of our team will just get one-shot by a solid fire move. I see an easy solution though. Just level up Ambipom a few times. He nearly one-shot a bunch of their team. It's genuinely the fastest and most sensible solution to this problem. I try again a few levels higher, and Return pretty much just sweeps his team. I did sacrifice Mothra to do some recoil damage because I just didn't think I could take it down in one shot. But other than that, there wasn't much of a strategy, just spear through them with Ambipom. Fourth is Psychic Trainer Lucian. Right away, Mr. Mime goes down in one attack order from Vespiquen, and second is Gallade, so I switch for Ambipom. Return took it all the way to red health, he ate a berry, nearly took us down with Drain Punch, and went down to his second return. Back to Vespiquen to deal with Alakazam, and although Psychic did tons of damage to us, attack order was obviously a one-shot. Fourth is Espeon, who also uses Psychic, but we hang on with just 8 health and get another one-shot with attack order. Last is Bronzong, and attack order does solid damage, but we go down to Gyro Ball. I try having Wormadam come out and Chip fight it down. It goes well, forcing him to use another full restore, but we do eventually go down. By then, though, we can just have Ambipom brute force it with a couple of returns. Finally, Pokemon Champion Cynthia. It starts out well enough with Wormadam using Iron Head over and over on her Spiritomb to try and take it out without sacrificing anyone too important. What doesn't work out well is when the pseudo-legendary Garchomp came out. I had to send out Ambipom to brute force it because literally no Pokemon on our team can learn ice moves, and although I do great damage, because of her berry, she survives and takes him out. Vespiquen was hardly able to finish it off, but Togekiss is next, and we're incredibly weak to flying types. Maybe Ambipom could take it out, but we just got our party destroyed by Air Slash. This was my best of 5 attempts. Considering that my team can learn no ice moves to deal with this situation, and our biggest issue is still that most of our team is slow as molasses, we need to level up even more, especially Ambipom, since he's our fastest and hardest hitting attacker. If this doesn't work out though, I'll just have to hunt around the whole map for even better held items and hope that they gives me the power that I need, but I'm doubtful. Finally, I try again. I still use Wormadam on Spiritomb, and it starts out great with us flinching at once and hardly taking any damage before it went down. For Garchomp, I switched to Ambipom and ended up taking it down with a critical return that absolutely saved this run. I switched to Wormadam for Lucario and eat an Aura Sphere for big damage before hitting Attract. A second Aura Sphere brought us down to only 5 health, Iron Head did a bit of damage, and we got an extra turn to do more damage. After that was Extreme Speed though, so we went down. Next is Ambipom, and we could go down in one big hit, but once again we crit with Return to take him down. This is incredible. Togekiss is next, so I hit Return for massive damage, got seriously messed up off Aura Sphere, and used Return to finish it off. Fifth is Milotic, so I sent out Cherim and used Grass Knot right away for solid damage, but got taken out in one shot by Mirror Coat. Actually, I forgot that that would happen, or I'd have gone for Solar Beam instead. Ambipom was able to finish it off with Return easily, though. Roserade is last, so I sent out Vespiquen, and although Sludge Bomb hits us pretty hard and poisons us, Attack Order brought her all the way down to a Sliver. That forced her to use a full restore, so we hit another Attack Order to bring it down to a Sliver again. Then we went down to Extra Sensory. Finally, I sent our Ambipom back out and speared it down with our crazy high speed to finally get in the Hall of Fame. I'm not even gonna lie, that victory was completely luck-based with those critical returns that I got. That was an interesting run, but man did it get brutal near the end. I really hope you guys liked that run though. For next Saturday, I have something really special that I'll be working on. I've been doing a Pokemon challenge video every single week for over a year now, so I am really excited to announce that for the first time ever, I'm gonna be doing a challenge in a non-Pokemon game, Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I have no idea how it's gonna go, how it'll be received, if you guys are even gonna watch it. I have no idea about any of these things, but I do think that I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it, and I hope that you guys enjoy it too. I'll have a new Pokemon challenge done in 2 weeks from when this video goes up though, so the Pokemon challenges aren't gonna go anywhere. Don't worry about that. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments, in the Pokemon challenge section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. If you want to see me do more challenges like these, please let me know in the comments or on Twitter. I can always use more ideas from you guys on what I should do next. Also, check out the playlist in the description to watch all of the Pokemon challenges that I've already uploaded. If you guys want to see more Pokemon stuff from me, my friend Whatageek and I just finished a Gen 1 randomizer over on his channel, linked in the description. You can also find myself, Whatageek, and Goosit playing Pokemon Stadium here on my channel. Also, come to my Twitch TV streams and tell me that this video sent you. It's always cool to hear how you found the channk. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.